Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the sign of Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Cancer, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. So Cancer, it's been a little bit of a rough start, I'm not gonna lie. I'm doing your reading at night. It's been snowing all day, and I have a weird energy about me. I cannot burn any more Palo Santo if I tried, and I thought maybe tonight's not the night, but I'm supposed to do this reading today, so I'm pushing forward, and I hope that you're doing well. I did a mini meditation before your reading. I'm going to read out everything that I wrote down. The first thing I saw was Sesame Street, so the children's show that is still on television, and specifically the character of Grover. So Sesame Street and Grover, that could have some kind of reference to your childhood or your children. Headache or pain on the right side of the head, and I don't have that pain, thank goodness, but I was feeling it for someone out there. Arizona, the wetlands of perhaps Florida. Wetlands are like kind of swampy, low-lying sea level areas. A cathedral, and specifically the reference to the architecture of a cathedral and the acoustics of a cathedral. So, you know, it's this idea that cathedrals were built in such a way that the harmonics of their construction would resonate at a certain frequency to evoke spirit. So there's something to that. I feel like maybe you're doing some research on that, or you came across a story that talked about that. Candy stripe, or a candy striper, which I think is somebody that sells candy. It's not an expression that I use, but then I saw like peppermint candy, like the stripes on peppermint candy, the red and white. Tuna fish, I don't know, but I saw a can of tuna fish. Reality television. Foot related issues. And the expression dime store, the 5 and dime, which is not something I think people say anymore, but I think it kind of refers to like the corner store, the 5 and dime, like where you could, you know, use a nickel and a dime in back in the day and get like some milk or something. Like, I don't know why that exact expression came to me, but dime store cowboy, I don't know, take it as it resonates. So take a screen cap of that, and please let me know in the comments if any of those resonate, if you see them in signs and synchronicities on your journeys. Would love to hear about it. I'm going to be pulling one card from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck to get the overall energy, and using the Light Seers Tarot for your tarot reading today. So the cards have been pre-shuffled. Let me just get myself situated here. Snow is really beautiful when you don't have to be out in it, and it's snowing outside my window. It's really, really, it's like oddly calming. Oh, so deep diver, diving into a task. The number 10 card, 10 representing the Wheel of Fortune in the major arcana of the tarot. So there could be something here where you are just, I heard a kind of lewd expression which I don't know if I can say on YouTube. The word starts with a B, and the rest of the sentence goes to the wall. To the wall, right? So, like a ball you would use in a soccer tournament, right? To the wall. I don't know why I can't say that, but I don't know if I can say those string of words like that together on YouTube. But there could be something here where you're feeling pressure to have to accomplish something, complete something. Especially with the number 10, it's kind of like all the 10s in the tarot are about bringing something to completion and closure. And instead of shying away from it, this my crown is really vibrating right now, right back here. It's like buzzing. It's like tingly. You're putting your whole heart into it, and Cancer, I don't doubt that you would. That if there's something here that you were so passionate about, much like me reading tarot, right? I had the day off today, and I could have stayed in bed just not doing a darn thing. And I finally got out of bed around, I mean, I woke up at a certain, 9:30, but like, and then I went into bed again and just kind of putzed around on the internet, took a little nap. I was like, oh, I don't have to do tarot readings today. And I was like, no, I have to, because it's important. And I just feel that's something here it's important to you. So we'll see what that is. I'm going to get 4 cards for the base spread, 4 cards for clarifier, past, present, future, and advice from Spirit for this general reading for the sign of Cancer. Sign of Cancer, please, Spirit. Okay, one more. Wow, there's some heavy hitters in this reading today. Okay, 2 extra cards came out at the end, so I will show them to you right off the bat. You got the 2 of Swords in the reverse. This is what the card looks like in the upright. We can see here that the swords in this deck are represented by flying creatures because swords represent air energy, the thinking mind. When the card is in the upright, it talks about somebody who is in a state of deliberation, that there is something that you have to contemplate, and you may be in a place of stagnancy when the card is in the upright, but the card is in reverse. And the card that came out with it at the end was the Ace of Pentacles. Almost as if, it was almost as if the moment that you made a decision about something, a resolute decision, like, this is the final word and that's what I'm sticking with, then Spirit's like, they like come towards you with that opportunity, that brand new opportunity. Could have to do with work, finances, friendship, love. Pentacles is all about earth energy, what happens in the material world, a 3D world. Spirit is handing you something on a silver platter. It's really beautiful, actually. I'm a Cancer too, so I like to see it. It's strange, it's really difficult for me to read for myself. But when I read for other Cancers, it's like the messages just come straight through. In the past energy, you got the Sun in the reverse. Thank you, Spirit. Even though what I was going to say was, even though the Sun is in reverse, it's still such a beautiful energy, isn't it? I mean, it just radiates. It can't help but radiate in either direction. The Sun is the best card in the deck if we're looking at which cards are considered positive, because what is the sun? It's the entity around which everything revolves. It is life-giving. It is representative of warmth and clarity, illumination. You can see here this character has a very open body language, an open heart chakra, allowing the love to come in, the light, the downloads. It's like spirit itself is just kind of entering into conscious awareness, and it's like becoming one with spirit. I mean, you are a divine entity, but it's like complete surrender. But in the past energy, there could have been an acknowledgement that this energy was there, but there's a hesitation to fully embrace. It's clarified by none other than the Hierophant. So this is number 19 in the Major Arcana. This is number 5. So right off the bat, in the past energies, very divinely guided. Major Arcana, the first 22 cards of the tarot deck, representing the archetypes of humanity. This is Leo energy, and this is Taurus. So the Hierophant represents someone who is like a spiritual leader, a religious leader, or a body of text, body of standards, through which you may be operating and understanding. There's that staircasing that came up in another reading the other day. I feel like it was Aquarius, maybe? The word staircasing came up in their meditation. You know that you're up-leveling. It's almost as if this kind of swirly energy up here is this. You know that you're up-leveling, but it almost seems like that staircase is endless. And I see this as a kind of piety, like you're very pious, you're very committed to walking that staircase, to walking that path. But you know what's just struck me? I never really contemplated it before, and I've used this deck at this point hundreds of times. I'm noticing the fact that there's like no guardrail or handrail for this staircase, and all of a sudden it's like I got kind of queasy. Like, what if I fall off? What if I only make it halfway and my legs just turn into jelly and I get scared? What if it becomes too high, too much, too scary, too quickly, too something? I just heard, what if I lose myself? What if I lose myself? What are you going to lose yourself to? And here we have Deep Diver, remember? So deep diving not just into a project or a task, but rather now into the self. Deep diving into the psyche, into the self. Let me ask for a clarifier on why is the sun in reverse, Spirit? One card came out, Seven of Cups, confusion. That makes sense. Seven of Cups talks about being spoiled for choice. As you can see here, he's trying to deliberate about which cup to choose. I'm now getting a flash of the show The Price is Right. Is there a game in The Price is Right that has, like, you choose under cups? You know, one of my favorite, I used to watch The Price is Right when I was younger, and one of my favorite games in The Price is Right, and no, it's not Plinko, was there was a board and they all had dollar signs on them, and they were made out of like vellum paper or tissue paper. And so you would gather up chances and to be able to punch through the tissue paper and pull out a card that said like, thank you, Spirit, that said like $100 or $1,000 or $10,000. And you know, the board was huge, so people would have to kind of, you know, where do I think the $10,000 was maybe the highest amount. And so they would have to like, okay, which one do I punch through, right? So I just feel like that energy here, like almost as if maybe you think you only have one chance at your jackpot. I'm just hearing now the song. There's a little outro song that they play on The Price is Right when somebody doesn't get, like they lose or they don't get a prize. And it's like dun dun dun, wah, you know? It's kind of like a sad, oh shucks kind of sound, like, oh shucks, sorry you didn't get, you got $1 or whatever it was, right? I just heard that. Very specific reference, but relevant, because it's almost as if you feel like you overturned the wrong one and you're a loser. I mean, I don't think I have to belabor the point when I say, of course you're not a loser, right? But Spirit wanted me to say it out loud. There's confusion here in the past energy. You didn't have all the information. And to that, I will say, we do the best we can with the information and resources that were given or provided at any one time in our lives. There's still a happiness here. There's still a sense of wonderment. Don't lose that wonderment, because thank you, Spirit, because here's your present energy. This is how I know. The Hermit, the number 9 in the major arcana, representing Virgo energy. It's a very kind of dark and like a very specific kind of like light source. The Hermit talks about somebody who's going through their dark night of the soul. What is a dark night of the soul? It's when we have our spiritual awakening, when we're brought to our knees, when we look inside of ourselves and meditate, contemplate the toughest things that perhaps we've spent so much of our lives trying to overcome or trying to avoid. And there is a part of you that no longer is interested in running away from your triggers or your traumas, running away from the things that could have caused you to doubt yourself in life, or create a narrative around who you thought you were supposed to be or meant to be, and now coming to the realization that you can be anyone you want to be. And what is the authentic version of you? That's the deep dive. And it's clarified by King of Swords. King of Swords is Gemini energy, sometimes attributed to Aquarius. King of Swords sits at the seat of power in the Swords suit, which is all about air energy. It's all about rationality, strategy, thinking about things logically. And so it's interesting because, you know, cancers are, it's not that we cannot be logical, but it's, the go-to is always the heart space, right, for Cancer. It depends on what you have in your chart, but I mean, I'm a double, I have a Pisces moon, so it's like, I'm just a water all over the place. So for me, it's all about the heart space. Like, if it doesn't resonate with the heart space, then what are we even doing? But at this point, when you're going through this hermit period, you're looking at things very objectively. This is somebody who looks at things very objectively. You could also be enlisting the help of a therapist, a doctor, a teacher, somebody, a wiser person, a wiser adult, an older adult, for guidance. But I kind of just see it as your attitude of you being very balanced, a very balanced approach to how you're looking at your past or your triggers. It's like you're not judging yourself anymore or getting down on yourself for how you may have acted in the past or reacted in the past to someone or something. I'm going to get a clarifier on the Hermit, please. The Hermit spirit. 2 cards came out. The 9 of Wands and the 4 of Wands in the reverse. Whatever it was that you previously built your foundation on, right? Like 4 of Wands talks, it can be the 1111 card, can represent twin flame energy, but it mainly talks about a firm foundation and a celebration of being able to build upon something. It's almost like, I don't see the tower energy here, but I feel it. Now I'm hearing that Psy song. I've been listening to, weirdly, a lot of BTS music. And I'm not, I'm recently into their music. It's not like I'm a super fan or anything, but they're very talented. But anyway, Psy, who is, you know, one of the largest musicians in Korea, he has a song called, I think it's called That. And just, it's a very kind of simple but amazing kind of techno dance track. Let's see, I just see them dancing here, but one of the lines that keeps repeating in my head is, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? And it's playing, so I would listen to that song if you feel like you want to just have something to dance to. But it's almost like this rumbling of the tower energy and crumbling of a false foundation. So there could be some aspect to your identity, to the ego, that you are releasing at this time. And that may be really scary. But with the 9 of Wands, card of resiliency, tenacity, you're staying the course. You're not letting anything deter you. You're determined to see it through. See what through? To see it, to see your spiritual awakening, to understand who you are. That's the most difficult journey that we can embark upon in our lives, isn't it? The journey of the self. Somebody just told me to hold up my mug. I got this from Anthropology. Actually, my sister got it for me. And it looks like one of my cats, who is a Maine Coon. His name is Lucky. And he's a wackadoo. Somebody wanted to see that mug. I just heard it. In the future potential, Four of Swords, King of Pentacles. Very nice. Very nice. So when you go through a process like, my crown is really buzzing. When you go through a process like this, like a dark night of the soul, it's like, because I've been through my dark night of the soul. I mean, we go through several in our lifetime, but it's like you walked a month in the desert by yourself without any food. It's just like maybe some water, the heat, delirium at times, depending on whether or not you've had a Kundalini awakening. Just you and the elements and the terrain of your own psyche. Isolating experience. And after you step out of that energy and kind of regain or reincorporate into the world again, you need time to rest. Four of Swords is a card of rest and recuperation. And it will make sense when we look at advice from Spirit, because it happens after a period of sadness. Clarified by the King of Pentacles, though, it's almost as if when you have a mastery over the self, you understand that you are a divine being and that you're really jiving with the universe, that you create your own reality. That's when you start to experience abundance. King of Pentacles is earth energy. I attribute it to Capricorn. Capricorn is the entrepreneur. Capricorn is on the opposite spectrum, the astrological wheel, to Cancer. So Capricorns and Cancer get along very fabulously. They complement one another. And it's as if that this complement to you is finally going to come in. Let's get a clarifier. The future energy for Cancer, please, Spirit. 3 cards came out. Lovers, Magician, 8 of Wands, all in the reverse. So, it's interesting. It's interesting because I wasn't sure if this was your energy or someone coming towards you. I do believe you could be manifesting a divine counterpart, the Lovers. That's Gemini, Virgo. Major Arcana number 1 and number 6. You could be manifesting at this time and waiting for that quick movement to come in, but these all came in the reverse. There's a process to manifestation, and it starts with, number 1, believing in yourself and believing in your divinity, your worthiness, your access to abundance. And in order to do that, you have to be really okay, body, mind, and spirit. Really in a good, healthy place. So it could have to do with your health as well. And then and only then will these manifestations, thank you, Spirit, start to come into play for you. But they're here, they showed up. This is awesome. It's like on the precipice, like you're so close. That could be really aggravating, but at least it showed up for you. Sun, Lovers, Magician, all of these showed up for you. Advice from Spirit, right? And this is where it really is going to hit home. 3 of Swords in the reverse. What does the 4 recover from? The 3. This is the hardest card in the tarot to deal with. The 3 of Swords is heartbreak, heartache. I mean, you can see it's almost like she's crying out to the heavens, to her own broken heart. And it's in reverse. And when the card is in reverse, it's Spirit is saying you haven't fully healed. And you know that you haven't. And because of that, the 10 of Pentacles is in reverse. It's like the universe wants to give you your brand new beginning. And this is all easier said than done. I get it, right? I'm still trying to reckon with this as well. How do we I don't think anybody's trying to sit in their sadness. Sometimes it's easier to sit in sadness and harder to be happy. That I understand. But it's like, what if you've done everything? You've cut cords, you've done seances, you've made moon water, you've journaled and burned it and, you know, put cinnamon in your windowsill. All these things I've done, right? I'm just using these examples because it's like I tried everything. And still, right? It's one day at a time. It's one day at a time. Ace of Wands in the upright. 2 of Pentacles. It's putting something down now. You know, the let go, let God. Putting something down now. It's like giving that energy to Spirit so that you can have your brand new beginning. That's 2 aces that Spirit wants to bring in. Ace of Wands and Ace of Pentacles. It's like I see you. I see something very specific. It's like I see you on a stage. No one is in the audience though. It's like you're practicing your lines, and you don't feel like you're confident enough to recite whatever it is that you have to recite. And here Spirit is with your aces, waiting in the wings, waiting to make their appearance known on stage with you. But it's like you have stage fright. You don't trust that you know your lines, that you know your next step. And your next step and your next line all has to do with trusting your intuition. It doesn't have to always make rational sense, even though that's what you're doing right now. Spirit is saying, look, it's good that you're having some balance, but ultimately you're a Cancer, and Cancers were meant to feed and fuel from their intuition and their heart space. So allow your heart to guide you. And then welcome these 2 new energies into your life. Like literally say to Spirit, I welcome this new energy. I receive it fully and gratefully. Say it out loud. That's your reading, Cancer. Something caught in my throat right now. When I said say it out loud, and then I got a frog in my throat. Is that difficult for you? Got to work on it. You know what they do, the actors, before they go on stage, they do those vocal exercises. A lot of practice. A lot of practice to say, I am worthy, I am love, I am divine. You just got to keep saying it until you're shouting it from the rooftops and from your heart. If this reading resonated, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, Cancer.